business awards, family succession planning, and celebrating excellence. This episode has it all. Hi there, Rob from the Better SMB team. In this episode, we talk to the father and daughter team of Drain Ninjas based in Henderson, West Auckland. This is a fascinating listen from a team that created a business from scratch, who are also planning succession to the next generation, and then we tap into their insights around the benefits of going through the local business awards process. So if you are a small, medium business that wants to listen about lessons directly from the trenches, yes, pun intended, then grab a pen and paper, put aside 50 minutes because there is a lot in this one. Believe me. Now, also, the usual plugs. If you want to keep supporting us, the Better SMB podcast, please press like, press the follow button, send the links to all your friends and family, and recommend our podcast. And finally, before the episode starts, please check out SetSeed, our wonderful sponsors. They are your all-in-one platform experience builders. So if you want a flash new website that has all the bells and whistles, check out setseed.com. They are so good, I've got them building one for my own business. Anyway, that's enough from me. On with the show.
Welcome back to the Better SMB, where we're on a mission to lift New Zealand's productivity by helping small and medium business leaders take practical steps to improve their business performance, starting today. I'm David Altiner.
And I'm Rob Bull.
We've created this platform to spark a movement. Our BHAG is to get 100,000 businesses, that includes 15,000 manufacturers, on a journey of continuous improvement. Through the podcast, our monthly column, The Last Word, a New Zealand manufacturer, and our growing community, we're building a trusted voice for SMB leaders, offering the inspiration, insight, and implementation support they need to build high-performing, future-ready businesses. Last year in November, Rob and I sponsored the High Performance Awards for the Northwest Country Business Association as a part of their business awards last year. Today, Rob and I have got the great opportunity to be joined by the father and daughter team running Drain Ninjas, the winner of our inaugural sponsorship, sounds flash, doesn't it, of this event. So we're going to spend a bit of time today learning about their business, what they're doing, how they managed to win this award, and what their plans are for the future. And I think there's going to be some pretty interesting things that are going to come out of this. So welcome to the Better SMB podcast, Jeff and Sasha.
Thanks for having us.
So I guess first up, I'd like to start with you, Jeff. Tell us a little bit about Drain Ninjas. You started the business. Tell us a little bit about that. Let's step back in time a little bit.
Well, it really wasn't just me that started it. How it came about was I was looking for a new business venture and way to supplement retirement income, which I hadn't provided adequately for. And I was listening to Troy talk about the way the business that he worked for, which was a similar one to ours, treated some of its customers with lack of communication, arranging to turn up at certain times, people taking half a day off work, and not only did they not turn up, but they didn't bother ringing them and letting them know. My past experience in business was that communication is a foundation of any good business. So I began thinking about what could we do and talked to Troy about the possibility of us starting a business, and Sasha, because of her marketing experience and business knowledge, was somebody else that I wanted to be part of that discussion. So we all sat down, had a talk, and decided that we would move ahead and do something. The first thing was to have a look at what financially a model of a man in a van would look like, because that's all we were talking about at that point in time. And from there, we moved on to looking at what were we going to call the business. That took up probably a couple of days of discussion with all of us chipping in our little bit. And I think it was Troy who finally came up with the name Ninja, and then we added Drain to it. So it was Drain Ninjas. And when it came to looking at our logo, we, because of my past experience, avoided traditional advertising and marketing people because I'd found that PR people were better. But Troy ended up finding a wonderful tattoo artist who designed our logo, because what my past business experience taught me was you need to have a business that the brand was memorable and very easy to recall, even if you were thinking about it sometime further down the line. So we had Drain Ninjas with a wonderful logo that reflected what we did. We then bought a van and fitted it out. Initially, Troy was going to work in that van, but we ended up deciding to get somebody else and work with them. And that was the beginning of Drain Ninjas. And from there, we can talk a bit further down the line about how it grew from that.
Great. And so, Sasha, what got you interested in this besides being, your dad's retirement plan?
Well, Jeff and I had actually worked together previously at Taupo Motorsport Park, and I was doing the events and marketing there. And again, up in Auckland, I was doing events and exhibitions and whatnot. And when Jeff kind of said, why don't we look at doing something like this, then I thought, well, why not? I mean, what's better than growing something and working with your family and having something there that you can put all your heart and soul into that's going to give you a good outcome in future later on. So it just worked really well with his business knowledge, my marketing, and Troy, who's my husband's technical knowledge. Yeah, it just fit really perfectly together to get us started.
Brilliant. I like the idea of delivering a great customer experience. I work in sales, so I'm only as good as the people who are delivering the things behind the scenes, right? So, and then of course the next thing is most of your business, ideally, you'd like it to come from word of mouth. So if you deliver a great customer experience, they'll tell 3 friends. If you deliver a bad customer experience, they tell 10 friends. You want to be on the happier side of that one. So the High Performance Award, what made you want to apply for that? I mean, I know the alternative was a mystery shopper, which might be a bit hard in your space. But, tell us about that.
Well, that was basically my thoughts. I thought a mystery shopper might be a little bit difficult just because of the way we work, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. And next time we do it, I will do, I think, the mystery shopper, because I think that would be really cool. Someone can always pretend they've got a blocked drain or need a quote for some drainage or whatever. So yeah, I think I just thought the shopper didn't really fit for what we do, because we're not a storefront as such. So, but we'll do that next time, I think.
But I think you were also keen to have a look at how we were performing compared with other businesses.
Yes, absolutely, definitely, yeah.
What about the awards full stop? Where's the motivation for that?
I think I saw something on Facebook about it, and I thought, you know what, I think we're finally at a point where it's worth trying. I mean, I'd never really had, I guess, the confidence that we were kind of at a level where we could even enter something like that. But yeah, I just thought, hey, why not? There's no harm in trying, and we've got a great team and a great business model. So yeah, I just went for it.
So with awards like this, there's a whole lot of admin that we're all like, oh God, you want me to fill in how many pages of application and all this sort of thing. But it's actually quite reflective and probably a good opportunity to kind of look at where you've come from founding the business and where you are now. As a part of that application process, what did that teach you about yourself and the business and how you've been operating?
Well, it was actually, like you say, a really good chance to kind of step back and reflect and see, as I say, how far we've come over. We're 10 years in business now, and it almost made it sort of seem real because we've been so deep in the trenches for the last 10 years. It was kind of nice actually stepping back and being like, hey, okay, this is actually really cool what we've built and what we've got. I mean, we've always been proud of it, but you're just so in the thick of it that you don't actually step back and like really look at it. It was really cool to see how far we've come, and it definitely helped highlight some things that we could change and do better to help the business as well.
was also a good opportunity for you to have a look at the business almost from the outside and just see what you were doing, how you were doing it, how other people were interacting and so on, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was good because it forced you to do that. Like I say, you're so deep in the trenches at times, you don't often step back and go, hey, look at this. So yeah, it was good to do that from all aspects.
Now, you came away from the night with a few awards from memory.
Yes,
There's
we got
some-
highly commended in the trade and manufacturing as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And so some business owners would look at this and they'd go, man, that's a hell of a lot of effort to go into to do that outside of your day job. From your experience, why do you think the awards matter?
I think that it's good to, as I say, give you that chance to step back and reflect. And it also is super important for team morale as well, like for them to get the recognition and see what we've created and what they've been a part of as well. They're so deep in shit a lot of the time every day with their job. And yeah, so it was really nice for them to get some recognition, and good for the community as well. Like it helps build trust and show everyone that we're here and we're here to stay.
And I think also it was great to think of having somebody on the outside having a look at what we were doing. I think it's very short-sighted for these business owners who scoff at the awards. I think they're an integral part of a good and competent business growing. And if you look over the years at the different companies that I've seen, some of which have been involved with, some I've had as clients, if they win awards, they're very proud of them. They stick the award on the wall or on the desk, and people see it, walk in, comment on it, and it's an integral part of the growth of the business.
And I see that's on your website at the moment.
And just reflecting on that, you're saying, Sasha, it was a good chance to step back and reflect and all of that. And I think I know what the answer is going to be to this question. But over that 10 years, how often did you do that process or went through that process?
Probably that's the first time, I want to say. Like
Okay.
I haven't, as I say, I've been so deep in the thick of it when I've looked at awards before, but never thought that I'd be capable of doing it. So that was probably really the first time that I really stepped back and really delved into things. I mean, often, we've often had chats about how far we've come and we celebrate with the team often, but to really, as Jeff said, like have a, full perspective of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like we were constantly looking at the business and talking about different things and trying to improve it, but nothing like the depth that these awards have taken us to.
Yeah.
They ask different questions, eh?
Yeah, they get you thinking.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So, Jeff, you talked about the idea of the community celebrating awards and so forth. Since you've been in this space, what are the changes you've seen with the community around things like awards and celebrating success and that sort of thing? Is it, are we getting more celebratory, or do you think it's getting worse?
I think we're getting more celebratory, but I think that the people who look in from the outside are becoming more critical. So you've got to make very sure that you are doing things right and in the right type of awards and putting the effort in. Even if you don't win it, the mere fact that you're perhaps a finalist or that you're present at the awards and that people see you there and meet you in person at the award functions and so on, I think that's happening more and more, probably because of the internet and things like that. People can take a picture on their phone and then put it on the web for other people to see.
And what I really liked, because we did have the fortunate ability to come up to the awards that evening, you brought the whole team along, and not every business brings the whole team along. You were having a good time at the same, maybe too much. There might have been a quite dusty drain in the morning, but
yes.
But no, in reality though, the whole team were there, and there were other businesses just with the owners and all of that, and that might be the size of them. I go to a few of these things, and the larger team don't necessarily come along. So that's credit to you guys. That
wasn't even like a question in my mind. Like as soon as we realized that we were a finalist, I put it out to our team straight away. I mean, they're a massive part of the reason why we're here, and it's just as much as a celebration for us as it is for them. And I wouldn't have had anywhere near as fun without them. So no, it was it was really good. And I like I say, anything like that, I strongly believe in including your team if you can. I mean, it's not always viable, but if you can, they need to be celebrated and feel the warm fuzzies as well.
Yeah, and in workshops that I've done with businesses, I always talk about a business as a machine, and it's got a whole lot of cogs. And it doesn't matter where you as a cog fit, whether you're a big one, a medium one, or the small one. You pull the small cog out and the whole machine stops. So therefore, you want all of the cogs to work and to make them feel part of the machine. And inviting them to the good bits is really important. We really focus on the team. Sasha, later on, will talk about if there's friendship, it's family. We don't just mean in the sense of it's a family business. It's everyone becomes part of the family.
Mm.
So now we talked a little bit about the origin of the business.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff, maybe from your side, when did the idea of handing the business over to Sasha kind of come into view for you? I've got a few stats I quote where 50,000 businesses in New Zealand close every year. Literally, people just hit retirement age, they shut the doors, they walk away. Whatever value they've built up, they flush it down the drain, I guess, or whatever. Clearly, you guys maybe filter the good stuff out or something, but not many businesses look at this kind of deliberate transition. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yes, because of my past business experience in a different field, I've seen and dealt with a lot of businesses, both here and in Australia, where, as you say, somebody builds up a business, then they don't look at it properly. The children have never been truly integrated into it, and suddenly it's perhaps too big for an individual to buy, too small for a corporate to want, and it ends up, as you say, being tossed down the toilet. So right from the word go, I was looking at it as being a business that could meet my needs, but also provide Sasha and Troy a job for the future that they had ownership of and skin in the game. So it was an integral part of it right to begin with. The details of the process weren't sat down and analysed, and we didn't tick it off one thing at a time. It just, that's where we're going. We'll see what we do as we move along the journey.
Mm-hmm.
But I think too many businesses don't think about it and end up problem. As we've just said, they end up going down the toilet. New Zealand and Australia are two of the worst countries in the world for that sort of thing happening. Maybe it's because of their population sizes or what. And obviously New Zealand's got a big problem in that. But I've seen clients and friends with businesses that have disappeared because of that.
They just close the doors and that's it. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On that one, Jeff, is quite often business owners feel it's valuable because they've built up this great thing, but they forget that they've just built it around them. What I've just heard is, you've built it with that future long state in mind, which is not just reliant on Jeff, and the goodwill won't go when he sort of goes fishing full time. But yeah, it's good to hear.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I've done quite a bit of work in franchising. One of the big things with franchising is it makes businesses more saleable because everything's written in a manual and it's not revolving around just one person. We've had visions of franchising train ninjas, and that's something that may well happen in the future, but we've got a very good structure and don't need to franchise it to get the value because we've got Sasha and Troy there and two young sons for the next generation.
Yes.
The next generation's all sorted.
Yes.
So, Sasha, you're coming into this with a marketing background, not necessarily the business perspective.
No.
So, talk about maybe some of the hopes, fears, expectations that you had coming into this, because I figure, a nice cushy marketing job versus getting in there, rolling up your sleeves. Maybe you're not necessarily rolling up your sleeves out in the field, but
yeah,
being all in on your own operation has got to have that moment of, geez, what are we doing?
Yes, no, I have had those moments a lot during the way, especially because, it's myself, my husband, and my dad, and it's this, we all rely on this business to survive day to day, and then you add the level of our staff, again, they're relying on their wages being paid and whatnot. So it's definitely daunting to have that, and COVID was definitely a scary time for us. We were obviously lucky to still be an essential business, but everything still slowed down majorly for us. But because we'd built such good relationships with our regular, and we had weekly and monthly and fortnightly recurring jobs, we managed to kind of keep ticking along, and I think we were really lucky to survive that, because a lot of people in our industry didn't, even like a couple of years out of that. But yeah, I guess one of the biggest fears is feeling like I have to take it all on my own. I mean, I do have lots of support around me, but at the end of the day, the buck kind of will eventually stop with me, and we just work so well together as a team. And I think confidence for me as well. I do rely on approval, I guess, from Jeff to make sure that I am making the right decision, and 9 times out of 10 he'll be like, you're fine, like you're good. But I think in the back of my mind just worry about that. And another thing is the staff aspect, because I'm with them day to day, and as Jeff says, they really become family, not just friends. If there's ever a disciplinary action that's needed, I do struggle with that, and I'll often call Jeff in to help, because he's more objective and distant, I guess, from the staff, and it's a lot easier for him, and with his experience. So that's probably one of the big things that I'm most kind of fearful about.
Yeah,
We've been very lucky with Sasha's experience in marketing, because at Taupo Motorsport Park, she was looking after the marketing, and of course she was dealing with international motorsport, and that would be one of the biggest and hardest marketing areas to be dealing with, and she was successful in that in a number of ways that I won't bore you with, but she learned an awful lot from that, which she's been able to use in the business. And as I said, we're very lucky to have Sasha with somebody with her knowledge and skills on board when it comes to marketing.
So we'll go a bit off script here. With all of you being so close, working in the business, what are weekends, Christmas dinner, after hours, what do they look like? How do you do you guys have a fine system, something like that? How do you keep shop talk at work and it's home time now?
We do struggle a little bit with that, particularly in the early days when we had a home office and all of the guys came to the yard. Like, I would come down in the morning and make my coffee, and the whole team would be sitting in my lounge. And again, in the afternoons, they'd all come back. So that was definitely a bit of a struggle, and it took a lot of willpower to try and separate work from home. Having separated home and business, now having them in 2 different locations, has made it a million times easier, because we try and home is home and stuff gets left at the door. But also it's hard to do that, because a lot of the time we need those private discussions, or discussions that's just the 3 of us, and we need to have that after hours and on the weekends. But we definitely do talk a lot about work and stuff a lot of the time.
For someone who also works and lives with my partner, you sort of, you have these random off-the-cuff chats, and it's all good, but then sometimes you just need to go, I'm just going to go out for a couple of hours and just really remove yourself, have time out. Do you guys have sort of some of those rules and cues and going, I think you need an afternoon, not here.
Not here. Yes, definitely. Troy definitely will put his foot down more. So like me, I could probably waffle on about it all day, every day, but he definitely has his moments where he's like, no, we just need to have our time now. But it's good we've got 2 and 4-year-olds, so on the weekend they're a good distraction for us. We're often out doing swimming or jiu-jitsu or whatever with them, so that's good time for us to hang out and not think about work.
Yeah, and I'm not involved to the same extent on a day-to-day basis. We have our monthly business meeting, and Sasha will ring me and say, hey, we need to have a meeting about such and such. So it doesn't impact on me to the same extent. I try and make sure that I don't just randomly raise business issues with Sasha when we're having discussions about something else.
So you're in this transition process that I understand, Jeff, you're probably not wanting to necessarily step away too quickly. But what are some of the surprises that you've kind of come across, good and bad, as you're sort of doing this transition of, I guess we'll call it management versus ownership?
I don't really know that there've been any surprises, and I don't mean that in any arrogant way. It's just that we functioned very well because it's been part of our thought process and our gene from the very beginning. There aren't too many surprises. It's just been a natural growth process. And I suppose I use my business experience to make sure that it runs smoothly and grows smoothly. So we've been lucky from that perspective as well.
Anything that sort of surprised you, Sasha? Maybe if we even expand that a bit, of course, because you're living with your business partner, you've got a couple of children there as well. How do you handle those moments of conflict and misunderstanding and those sorts of things?
We will generally kind of park it and then organise a catch up for all of us to sit down. We'll lay it all out on the table, go through all the facts, look at the pros and cons. And then I don't think we've ever, after doing that, had a time where we haven't kind of all agreed on the decision. Once we've sat down, thought about it clearly and looked at everything, we're generally all on the same page anyway.
I think that's one of the points I was perhaps going to talk about later, but it's now appropriate. I think in any transition business, you have to have the scenario where everyone respects everyone else with their role. I've seen so many situations where the old person wants to dominate, the young person wants to control, and conflict arises. Well, we don't have that because I want the younger people to deal with things. I want Sasha's business knowledge and experience to grow. I want to slowly move back. I don't ever want to not be involved because I like having my brain active. But I'm more there if there are issues to come and help, or if there are big decisions to be made to come and help. And I let the young people deal with it while I have an overarching view of the whole thing, where I can use my experience to help.
You're doing really good at looking ahead on some of these questions I'm sort of thinking of here, Jeff. So I had a question about what you're learning around family succession, and actually you've largely answered that. And I'm going to look at this next one. What advice would both of you give another Kiwi family who've got a business and they're preparing for handover? Because I really don't think people are quite as well set up going into this as both of you are.
Yeah, that surprises me. I'm just like, side note, I don't know. I would have thought that more people would be having these discussions. It's kind of always been something that we've looked at and thought of from day dot. But advice I would have would be start the conversations earlier than what you think it needs to happen. I mean, you never know. Life's not promised, so anything could change at any moment. So I think at least having those discussions and kind of starting that process of what would happen if something were to happen is really important. And as Jeff said before, being really clear on the roles and expectations and making sure that everyone's aligned with the vision and the values for the business. Because we've kind of had the same values from day dot, they're just ingrained in us. So I don't think we have an issue with the transition of values between us both. I mean, it's communication, integrity, and looking after our team and our customers has always been like at the forefront of our mind, and that won't change.
But I think, Sash, that from what I've seen in my business experience and roles that I've had with other people's businesses, they do have to sit down earlier rather than later, and they do have to clearly identify who's doing what and how they're going to deal with it, and even have discussions about how they might deal with conflict and have a basic skeleton to work to moving forward. And yeah, as I said, I've seen so many businesses fall over because that hasn't happened. Even things like the older person needs to think about their will and where shares are going to go and so on, because a lot of them suddenly end up with the son who's been helping dad in the business forever. He passes away and he finds out in the will that the sister who lives on the other side of the world and has never had anything to do with the business ends up with a share in it. So you have to think about all of those silly little things as well. But start early, as Sasha says, have the discussions, clearly identify the roles. Often it's the old person that struggles with it more than the young person, but the young person has to also be a bit tolerant at times, but have those roles clearly worked out and a plan, as I said, a skeleton to work to.
And we've also got a couple of people to be there to help support me for when Jeff isn't part of it anymore, which has been a big relief for me, knowing that I've got those people that understand Jeff's expectations clearly and will help me with decision making and whatnot, and conflict as well. You know, if there's no Jeff, then it's just Troy and I. So it will be good to have an outsider to be able to help with that and just give guidance and advice. I mean, these people are similar-ish age to Jeff, so they're experienced business people as well. So that's we've put that in place. Again, I know it surprises me that people don't think of that, but we have, and that's been a really important thing for me. It's made me feel more confident moving forward, knowing that I've got that support as well. And then again, another layer, meeting you guys, that's made me feel, you know, and doing the things that we're doing helps with the confidence as well. So getting involved, building your support system around you would be a big advice that I can give, whether it be, you know, other family members or like-minded business people or people such as yourselves would highly recommend. Yeah.
There's probably no surprise here listening to all of this and why you picked up the High Performance Award, because at least 50% of businesses don't even have a plan. And those who even write anything down, they don't do anything with it. It becomes a tick box because they needed it for the bank, because the bank wanted to check something off. So, and this is why we started the Better SMB, is to pick up these little nuggets that you're sharing and going, this is what good looks like. And very few businesses actually do that.
Failing to plan is planning to fail, and that's very true.
Yeah, 100% right. Just on that, Jeff, you talked about that skeleton around the roles and expectations. Did you even go a step further and write down those job descriptions for each other and actually document how decisions are made?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of our, I guess, business continuity plan that we've got. It kind of fits into that. We should probably do it more often, but kind of every couple of years we go in and update that, and with new staff and whatnot, and new roles that we may have created. And yeah, we have done that.
Excellent.
So we often talk about a unicorn being $1 billion business. I'm going to use unicorn more in the, you know, that's the thing you hardly ever see. Most businesses don't last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Of the 50,000 businesses that close down every year, over and above that, only 3,000 businesses are sold. So that's somewhere close to 1.5% of businesses are actually sold. Around about 1,000 go bust. So most businesses are voluntarily shut. So you guys are clearly in unicorn status from there's not many businesses like you. Talk about what success looks like for Drain Ninjas in the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, obviously we intend to grow and expand. I also think that we will look at other options and things we can move into. Like we started off with a man in a van doing unblocks, then we were giving away a lot of vacuum work, so we vacuum truck, then we found we were giving away a lot of drain laying, so we got certified drain layers and started doing drain laying. So I can see things moving along. I've always looked at the fact that we've got water blasters, people clean houses and roofs with it. There are a lot of different things that you can do. So success is, the parent company is Ninja Group, and I always had the vision that we might have the house cleaning, we might have the drain laying and so on. And the drainage side has ended up as our sole focus, and I'll probably be dead and gone before it moves into other areas. But we want to expand the drainage work. I've always adopted the approach, I don't go and buy a truck for $650,000 owned by Mr. UDC and hope that the work will come. I make sure that there is enough work there to service UDC and don't necessarily have to have a profit margin. We'll let that grow. So I want the work before I buy the truck, whereas we see other people who buy the truck presume the work will come, and of course it sometimes doesn't. We will expand and grow, but we'll expand and grow steadily. Previous businesses that I've had that same approach, just steady as it goes, and make sure you've got the signs of the work there before you take the next step and put the team and the equipment in place.
And also, we're big believers on upskilling our team that we have. You know, we don't need loads of staff coming and going. We're all about those long-term relationships and helping them grow and, like I say, upskill and move into different areas. Like a lot of our staff are floaters, like they're trained in all areas, which is very uncommon in our industry as well. A lot of people would be just unblocking and CCTV, just vacuum or just drainage, whereas most of our guys can kind of cover across all three instances, which is super helpful for if we have slow days in some areas and not in others. But yeah, building our team resilience and also the community work as well. Like I love being part of that community spirit. We do a lot of sponsorship of various schools and communities and clubs and so I'd love to see us be able to give back more to the community as well as we grow over the next 5 years.
And also we have apprentices as part of that upskilling people so that they get qualifications that have a value for them further down the line. Hopefully they'll stay with us, but if they don't, they've got something to take elsewhere that's useful too.
Yeah.
You're dropping a whole lot of like really good stuff. Like I'm going to have to go back through this. I can probably come up with a whole bunch of different assets that we can make available to people who are going to be part of the Better SMB community, because you're talking about starting a business with intentionality, focus on customer experience, this idea of intergenerational handover, being part of the community, giving back to the community. Most people are like, oh, I'll give back to the community once I hit whatever it is in profit, as opposed to, well, no, we'll just make that a part of the cadence that we've got. So as a part of that kind of reflective work that you've done, what are some of the things that you're most proud of as a team?
Wow, the team that we've built around us, I mean, first and foremost, I'm proud of our ninja family that we have, and proud of the fact that like a very large portion of our work comes through word of mouth. So we are super big on presence and helping the community and making sure that our team do what they say that we're going to do from start to finish. Google reviews obviously are super important for us as well. So do you have anything?
No, not really. It is just the way the business is working. The word of mouth side of things is very important, but it's also something we can be very proud of.
Yeah.
Because that says that the people out there are happy with what we do. And then as Sasha says, the Google reviews, we get good reviews a lot of the time, don't we?
But the biggest, as I say, the biggest thing is the team. Proud of the team and the family that we've built and how far we've come. And the fact that we're able to give back to the community. I mean, you know, we're not millionaires raking in heaps, but just every little bit counts. Like particularly during the flooding that we had was like we made up gift baskets to go and deliver to people that had flooded or had no supplies or were stuck at home or whatever. And yeah, we're just lucky to be able to do that.
Going looping right back to the awards as well. You've got the 2 award, or you've got highly commended and the high performance award.
Yes.
Chances of going back again for the supreme big goal?
Oh, 100%. I'm like, why is it not this year? I was sad when I found out. I think is it two yearly or 3 yearly, the awards?
2 yearly.
2 yearly, yes. No, I'm gutted that I've got to wait 2 years. But no, absolutely. I'm hungry now that I've had a taste. Like, and I know that we can do it. I think I just didn't articulate it as well as I could have in the entry. So yeah.
Yep. Articulation and writing, being clear with your answers is one thing, but improving on improvements. So this is what I'm really passionate around, and this is what our business is built around. What will you improve on in the next 12 to 18 months to set yourself up for that goal? Because a lot of businesses going, hey, we've reached it. You know, we've got a couple of awards. We're all good. We're at the top of the game. We don't need to improve anymore. Give us some specifics about what you have planned to get yourself in that position.
Well, the first thing, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but the first thing is doing your operational excellence training course that you've put on. I mean,
great plug.
I'm so keen for doing anything that I can with things like that. I think that course just every step just resonated with me, like yes. So I'm super excited about doing that. And off the back of that, the Chamber of Commerce have also sent me a whole lot of other programs that we could be eligible for funding. So 100% speak to them about any funding that you can get, because it's so worth it. Even though I'm so time poor, and the thought of having to try and find those spare hours, I just think it's all going to be so worth it. So that's number one. And then I imagine there'll be a whole lot off of the back of that will be super helpful for us as well.
Well, with a team, you can always get more performance out of a team. It's a mental thing. You get them taking ownership of their roles and really being part of the business and wanting to do things better. So you actually get the team working better and more efficiently, which means that everything works a bit better at the other end. And as I said, we also want to expand the business. That depends a little bit on the economy this year as to how far we go with that. But there are the things that we look at. We never stop trying to improve and build our team.
No, and we've done a lot of updating of our processes and whatnot as well. Like, we invested in a health and safety app, so our team has everything all there. They can do it all online. It all tracks through to us. We've implemented loads of new processes and systems over the last 12 months, which I only imagine will grow as well. Yeah.
So here we go. Our quickfire questions, which really help us wrap things up. But Drain Ninjas, and you guys live in a wonderful place in the world, West Auckland, and good West, not you're a deep West, which I really love because good people come from there. Best place to visit in West Auckland?
Best place to visit in West Auckland. You're putting me on the spot now.
Yep, that's the whole point.
Middleway.
Jeff?
I quite like that place where you go to where they have the egg.
Are you talking about Crystal Mountain?
Yes.
Crystal Mountain, there you go.
Brilliant. I've never heard of it, but Muriwai, my home beach, so you've got some brownie points on that one. You've both probably read a book or two. What's your favourite book around business or learning or leadership and anything like that? Have you come across a little nugget that you always tell people to pull up and read?
Look, I have to be honest and say that I'm old and I've forgotten the books that I've looked at. But I am a great believer in going to the various seminars and courses that people have, not necessarily ones that you have to pay for, because you can always pick up nuggets and gems from those places. My business experience is often reading a book in isolation doesn't take you to where you want to be. But going and hearing people talk about what they've done, how they've done it, is very helpful. So I can't give you a nugget of a business book to look at.
I unfortunately can't either. I'm not actually that much of a bookworm, but I am a big believer on, kind of as Jeff said, I take little snippets from everything. I'm constantly reading different articles, following various different people, looking at what other people in our industry are doing as well, and just taking little bits from everywhere and soaking it all up.
Put your finger on the pulse.
Yes, always.
And I think those are great nuggets as it is. Right, last one, and this will put you on the spot. The office is based in Henderson, so for those who listen to this and want to access you guys, you are based in Henderson. Best place for coffee in and around the office?
Cream.
Whereabouts is Cream?
Just off of Universal Drive.
Brilliant.
It's where all the Shortland Street actors go as well. So if you want to see some famous people, you can go there. But they do awesome coffee and amazing food.
I could probably honestly say I wouldn't recognise them.
No, that's right. Just go there for the coffee and the food.
So Jeff, in your hood, where's the best place for coffee?
For me,
yeah,
has amazing cappuccinos and mochachinos and wonderful food.
Sugar and Cup Cafe,
yes,
Browns Bay.
Brilliant.
Yes, awesome.
As we wrap up, there's three big things I'm taking away from our session today. First, customer experience and communication. Just doing what you'll say you do and doing it reliably can be the foundation of a really strong, resilient business. Second, awards and reflection. Using things like business awards as a reason to step out of the day-to-day, look back at how far you've come and give the team the recognition they deserve. And third, succession and continuity. Starting those conversations early, being clear on roles and building a support network so the business outlives any one person. Jeff and Sasha, thanks for being so open about the realities of running a family business. the good bits, the scary bits, and all the bits in between. Really appreciate you joining us on the Better SMB podcast.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity.
Yes, thanks so much. We really appreciate it.